Alright, hello everyone, Luke Smith here, and this is going to be a specifications video for the new 2020 iPad Pro. I'm actually thinking about this one. I know I said like I was thinking about the last one that they released like in 2018, but I think this one might be the one to replace my iPad 2. Yep, the only tablet and the only iPad I had, like the very first tablet I got and the one that I'm using to this very day, is an iPad 2. So I'm actually thinking about replacing it with a new one, something that's more up to date. Now this is already out, so I can buy it now if I wanted to, but obviously payday ain't arrived yet, so I can't. It comes in two different sizes, 11 inch and 12.9 inch. I'll probably just get the 11 inch because it's cheaper and it's like size doesn't really matter to me, so I don't want it to be massively big because it's bound to be bigger than the iPad 2 anyway. It has two finishes, which is the silver and the space grey. I'd probably get the space grey because it looks a little bit better, and the silver looks a bit more whitish to me. Something that will sell it for me is the two cameras, which is a wide and an ultra wide camera, as well as a sort of depth of field sensor as well, which from what I hear it just bounces off lights off of objects to show how far they are and how close they are. So that's interesting. It does sound like a depth of field sensor that most mobile phones have nowadays. The capacity, basically the same capacity on both. The minimum is 128 gigs, which is a lot for me anyway. The middle one, or one of the middle ones, is 256, and then it's 512, and it can even go up to 1 terabyte. Which, if you want to make a lot of use out of it, then yeah, if you can afford it, of course, then go for 1 terabyte. But I'll just do the 128 because that's all it needs, really. It's like that's enough for the 4K video. This is the weight. Yeah, we know it's light. Um, One of the things that I'm bothered about this is, one, I'd need to get a case, and two, I know it bends a lot because of the aluminium frame is more flimsy, a bit like on the iPad Pro, the original ones. Uh, Apple never learns, and they keep putting really cheap materials into it. So yeah. Okay, so it's got three microphones on it and two speakers at the top with a button to turn it on and off. On the sides, it's got the camera on the back, or cameras on the back, with a microphone as well, volume up and down on the sides. It's got another microphone on the other side, magnetic connector, which is for your Apple Pencil, nano SIM tray, which I'll be getting a Wi-Fi version, so it won't come with a SIM card tray. It's got a smart connector and a USB-C connector at the bottom, and it's got two speakers at the bottom, so it's got four speakers, which is pretty good. Okay, you get the usual stuff in the box. You get the iPad Pro, the USB-C charger cable, and the 18-watt USB-C power adapter. It's got a liquid retina display with all this good stuff, which is more or less the same. I can read one of them. 11-inch LED backlit multi-touch display with IPS technology, 2388 by 1668 pixel resolution at 264 pixels per inch. Obviously, I know it's a little bit different. It's a bit bigger on the bigger version. It's got ProMotion technology, ultra wide color display, two-tone display, fingerprint resistance, which I beg to differ on that because obviously it's going to get smudged up and stuff. Fully laminated display, anti-reflective coating, 1.8% reflectivity, 600 nit brightness. So that's pretty good. And now the brains of the operation. It has an A12Z Bionic chip with 64-bit architecture, neutral engine embedded M12 coprocessor. So already that is stronger than the iPad Pro, the original ones. I think this is like the 4th generation iPad Pro. It's like, this is why it gets really confusing about which ones are out, because they're all the same thing. They can say, oh, this is a certain generations. Okay, the bit that I'm interested in. The cameras, it has a 12 megapixel wide angle camera and a 10 megapixel ultra wide camera. 2 times optical zoom and digital zoom up to 5 times. So it's not as good as your phone for like zoom, but it'll do, you know. 5 element lens, wide and ultra wide, brighter 2-tone flash, panorama view up to 63 megabytes, sapphire lens cover, backlit illumination sensor. Oh, that's the BIS. That's the yeah, backlit. That's the one that reflects the light off of things. Hybrid IR filter, so you can like do the alternative reality. I know that's not for that, but it does do alternate reality stuff as well. Autofocus, tap to focus, wide color capture for photos and live videos, exposure control, noise reduction, smart ADR for photos, auto image stabilization, burst mode, timer mode, photo geotagging, and obviously the formats. Video recording does 4K recording at 24 frames per second, 30 and 60, or 60 for wide or 60 for ultra wide. 1080p HD video recording for at 30 or 60 frames per second. 720 HD recording for 30 frames per second. 2-tone flash or brighter and slow-mo. Time-lapse. Cinematic video stabilization. Continuous autofocus video. Noise reduction takes 8 megapixel still photos while recording in 4K. That is good. Playback zoom, geotagging, and obviously the formats. It doesn't have like MP4 format. It looks like you might have to convert it in like Camtasia or Sony Vegas. True depth camera. Here we go. I think this is for the front, I believe. 7 megapixel photos, portrait mode, portrait lighting, emoji. Yeah, this is for the front camera. 1080p video recording, retina flash, wide color capture for photos and live videos, smart HDR, backlit illumination sensor, auto image stabilization, burst mode, exposure control, timer mode. Video recording, it does FaceTime and iPad FaceTime with iPhone and iPad. Video calling, audio calling, FaceTime as well. It's got 4 speakers. It's got really good five studio quality microphones for calls, recordings, and audio recordings. It's got all like the wireless things like Wi-Fi and cellular. It takes a nano SIM and an eSIM. So that's if you want the cellular version, but like I said, I'd be getting the Wi-Fi version. It's got digital compass, Wi-Fi and iBeacon micro location, and in both models, like in the cellular model, it has built-in GPS with cellular. Sensors, Face ID, LiDAR scanner, 3-axis gyro, accelerometer, barometer, and ambient light sensor. The Face ID, you can use Face ID to unlock your device using your face. You unlock iPad, facial recognition, secure personal apps and data, and make purchases. Apple Pay, it's got Siri, it's got USB-C, obviously for charging and expansion, and the actual battery has all models 10 hours of battery life for surfing the web on Wi-Fi, and charging adapter for USB-C to your computer system. And on the Wi-Fi and cellular, it's got 9 hours because it's like using mobile data. Operating system, iPad OS, and accessibility stuff, built-in apps, free app system requirements, all that stuff. Languages, all that stuff, audio playback, TV, yeah, mail support, additional requirements. Don't get your thing too cold. Okay, so I'm just going to go on to buy and have a little look. I'll run down through the price as well, because I might as well save me from doing a separate video. Okay, so the 11-inch display model will cost from $769, whereas the 12.9-inch is $969. So that is a big jump for like almost 2 inches. Space grey and silver finish. Also, if you want extra storage for the because like the default is 128 gigs, but if you want 256, it would cost you from 869. This will be fully 11-inch, by the way. 512, it will cost you just over £1,000, and 1 terabyte is almost £1,300. So really, 1 terabyte is not that much more than the 512, but like I said, I'll stick with the 128. Connectivity, if you want Wi-Fi and cellular, it would cost you £919. So yeah, you can get Apple Care, all that good stuff. So yeah, that was been the specifications rundown of the new 2020 iPad Pro 11-inch and 12.9-inch. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what you think about this. Do you recommend it or not? And I will see you in another video.